The serious business of hiding a ball. Baxter's ball was only small, but to Baxter, this ball was the world. He didn't know why exactly, but when he had it in his gigantic jaws, things felt calmer. He felt calmer. And when it was lost, well, Baxter wasn't calm at all. He would frantically smell the carpet, the curtains and the cushions for a sniffy trail leading back to where he last had it. Thanks to his big, wet sniffer, the ball wouldn't stay lost for very long. Today, Baxter and his ball were at the park, but they were not there to play. They were there for serious business. He had to hide the ball. It had to be hidden far enough for other dogs not to find it, but not far enough for him to lose it completely. Baxter dug a hole. He put the ball in the hole. He stepped back and looked at the ball in the hole. He could see the yellow top poking out. Baxter started to whimper. He began to dig another hole, a bigger hole, this time deeper, and over in the shadow of the biggest tree. He would dig a little, then stop to look around before digging some more. Apart from a few ants, a worm or two, and a squirrel, nobody had seen where it was. He put the ball in the hole. He stepped back and looked at the ball in the hole. Aha! It was hidden. Using his big brown back paws, he kicked the mud over the ball. Then he heard somebody laugh. "Got things covered over there then, or do you need a paw?" "What?" A confused Baxter looked around. "The ball." "What ball?" Baxter's ears pulled back. "The yellow ball, the one that's been chewed to an inch of its life and is covered in slime. The one you've been trying to hide for the past 20 minutes, much to my amusement." Baxter felt ashamed that he'd been found out. He dug up his ball and sniffed at the grass around in a circle before finding a scent to follow. His nose followed along the ground until it landed upon two small and scruffy paws. "So what's the big secret with the ball?" Lifting his head up, Baxter could see he was twice the size of this quizzical dog. He thought about showing his teeth, or maybe even a bark or two. That should send him scattering away. But instead, he chewed on his ball. "Why did Cinderella get thrown off the football team?" "Huh?" Now Baxter was really confused. "'Cause she ran away from the ball." If Baxter wasn't holding his ball in his gigantic jaws, he might have laughed. "I don't think I know any more ball jokes. I wondered why the frisbee was getting bigger and bigger." Baxter looked around anxiously. "And then it hit me." Baxter's tail wagged. "So come on, kid, what's the deal with the yellow ball?" Baxter told the scruffy dog about his ball and the serious business of hiding it. "So, could you leave me alone now so I can hide this ball before school starts and I miss my first day?" he finished. Jack Russells were always asking questions, he thought. "School?" So Baxter went on to explain that the reason he had to hide the ball was because he didn't think it would be a good look to take his yellow, chewed-up, slimy ball to the first day of school. It wouldn't be very professional for an astro-physicist. "An astro what?" So Baxter went on to explain that ever since being a pup, he would look up at the stars and wonder why some would twinkle and why some would shoot and why one day they will all die. They both looked up at the sky for a moment, staring at the daytime moon and imagining what lay beyond. "Why did the star get arrested?" Baxter wagged his tail before the punchline. "Because it was a shooting star. Now, call me Captain Obvious, but why don't you just leave the ball at home?" So Baxter explained that sometimes he gets anxious, and somehow chewing the ball over and over just feels better, especially on a day like today when he had so much to worry about, like the first day of school, missing his family, and losing his ball. "You're lucky you've got a family to miss, kid." The scruffy dog took the ball from Baxter's mouth and gave it a quick chew before saying, "Personally, I prefer sticks," and then spitting the ball out. Baxter's forehead wrinkled and his long, soft ears flopped forward. Hey, come on, you're a bloodhound. A bloodhound would never lose his ball. You got the best sniffer of all of us. Just follow your nose and trust. And as for where to hide it, well, the perfect place is right under your nose. Baxter looked around at all the big and small holes he had already dug and felt truly hopeless. He gave his ball a quick chew whilst looking for a new spot. No, I mean literally under your nose. Baxter started to dig where his feet were. No, you great big hound, your mouth. If it makes you feel better, kid, then take it and hide it in your massive gob. It was true that Baxter had a big jaw with great big drooping cheeks. It was genius. Stuffing the ball into the side of his mouth, he looked down at the scruffy dog with softening eyes. There was something about him that made him just feel better. What kind of dog does Dracula have? Baxter's tail wagged. A bloodhound. Oh, and why did the dog cross the road? Baxter's tummy filled with tickles. To get to the car park. And that was the joke that made Baxter drop his ball and let out an enormous laugh. A nearby woman mistook their laughing for barking and came running towards them with her arms waving wildly, shouting, "Shoo! Shoo!" I never understood why these people keep asking me for shoes. I mean, she's got her own, the scruffy dog said before they ran out of the park together. Arriving at the gates of school, the scruffy dog turned to Baxter, whose face bulged slightly at one side where the yellow ball was hiding. Well, I hope you're the first dog in space, kid. We have got to beat the cats to it. Second, there's already been one. Anyway, what's your name? Baxter asked. Dog, or sometimes Shoe. What? No name? Where do you live? Under the stars, space boy, the scruffy dog called back whilst walking towards the park, sniffing at things along the way. Baxter sniffed after him and stored the scent in a special place, gave his ball a quick chew, and then walked into his new school.